and be able to, you know, not be looking to see who can make the play, but all of us figuring out how we can make plays together. And I think it's going to be beneficial to us having that chemistry from day one, which we will have because of how we was able to finish the season off last year.
LeBron over here, Jim Hill, KCAL 9 News to your right.
Jim, what's up?
Good to see you.
Good
How
to
you
see you,
doing?
baby.
Good luck this year.
No, thank you.
Where and how did you develop the passion that you have? And you mentioned that word before several times.
Yeah.
Where and how did you develop a passion that you have for this game?
Well, I mean, it started when I was super duper young, and it literally got me out of like the situation I was in, meaning like sports has done so much for all of us, obviously, but I mean, I can speak to me as a 8-year-old kid to be put into sports and get out of the inner city and get out of the ghetto at the time. It gave me I could get away from reality for 2, 3, 4 hours. Being on the basketball court as an 8-year-old kid and running around and enjoying it with guys that I just met, or being on the football field and being able to just to feel the breeze of the air and being able to have competition and maybe even letting some anger out on the football field because of what you got going on, in your regular life. So like, I think the passion kind of started there. And then when you put in the work and you start seeing the results of things happen, I think that also creates it more and more and more over the years. And I think it just stuck with me. I've always wanted to be, I guess when I decided that I wanted to make this basketball thing real, and I figured out that I had a lot of talent. I figured out I had the demeanor and the passion for it. I was like, I just want to put everything into it to try to be the greatest that I can possibly be for me. And I think it all just tied in, over the course of the years.
LeBron, last season at this time, you were talking about how the Olympics opened up a memory of competing at a certain level. Was there something this offseason that maybe gave you a similar reflection or opened up another revelation about this next chapter for you?
Um, I think the chapter of just competition and how hard it is to prepare for a season. If you look at the landscape of our off season in our league, you can see some of the acquisitions that's happened all over our league, and especially in the Western Conference. The Western Conference is super tough, super competitive, and that's great. I mean, we wouldn't want it any other way to be able to go out and compete versus some of the best teams, best clubs, best personnel that you have every single night, and understand like what you're playing for. So. Yeah, I mean, I watched a lot of the EuroBasket, games this off. Obviously, a lot reason was because Luka was playing. I was seeing what he was doing with Slovenia and things of that nature. But just the love of the game and the passion for it just gets me excited.
LeBron, when you opted into your contract this year, your agent released a statement saying that you were looking to compete for championships, evaluating the roster, stuff like that. The competitive level, it sounds like you feel pretty good about it, but is that the case, that you feel pretty good about the way the roster's shaped up this year?
Yeah, I'm excited about getting to work, and I'm excited about to see what we can do.
Hey, Ron. A couple of years ago, you said you enter every single season with something to prove. Presumably, last season it was playing alongside Bronny. What do you want to prove this season, and is there a chance that you would hold on to play alongside Bryce?
um, as far as prove, I just think for me personally, just trying to go out there and just be the best player I can be every night, both as far as my game, but also just mentally, just staying present and things of that nature, like. Knowing that the end is soon, not taking for granted, Tuesday night in the city that maybe I don't want to be in that night, but like seriously, like let's lock in, and because you don't know how many times you get the opportunity to play the game, or to be able to compete, so there's times where you wake up and you just feel like you just don't have it, so those will be the days where I know I can lock back in real fast, like, okay, well, you won't have many days like this, so let's lock in and enjoy the moment, enjoy the rest of the ride. So that's the exciting thing about it, and understanding like how present I can be, how present I will be. I I'm not sitting here. No, I'm not waiting on Bryce. No, I don't know what his time. I don't know what his timeline is. He's his own young man now. Like he's down in Tucson. We'll see what happens this year, next year. But he has his own timeline. I got my timeline, and I don't know if they quite match up, but we see.
Hey, LeBron. It feels like over here. Sorry, it's
Oh
right.
yeah,
Hey, it feels like so much of the discourse about you heading into this season, and also even to a degree heading into last season, was about your age and about people's sort of expectations or like what
yeah,
someone could hypothetically do at that age. And it does sort of feel like that discourse is a little bit divorced from the actual product you put on the floor last year and the level that you're still playing at. I'm wondering what that experience is like for you, like hearing that discourse and knowing, I guess, how much you still have shown you have left in the tank.
yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool to like I don't know, just to know how many miles I got as far as this game in my 22 years now, starting 23 years, and to still be able to play at a high level, to still be able to go out there and can make plays and be respectful on the floor. Um, it takes. I mean, it's just super humbling and gratifying for me personally. I love to play the game and I love to play at a high level. And for me, age is kind of just a number, but it is reality too, though. I mean, you look at the history of the game, it's not been many guys at my age, or especially going in the year 23, that's been able to play at a level like that. And I'll just try to not take it for granted and just try to give the game as much as I can, inspire whoever I can, the younger generation, my generation, the generation after me, the generation to come. And just like, I think you are of age, which you, I guess, tell your mind you are. And I'm around a lot of young guys. I'm around a 10-year-old daughter who's running through the house all day, every day, screaming. I got an 18-year-old son who's in Tucson. He see him on TikTok dancing with his mom and his sister. And my 20-year-old is right over there turning 21 in a week. Like, how could I not feel young? And then, I mean, my wife is beautiful. I look good. I mean, I look at my age as like the wine that I drink. The older wine I drink, the better it is. What's up, BT? So like I feel great. I mean, I don't know. I sleep well, I guess.
Braun, in previous media days, you've said that there's always like one skill or thing that you focus on trying to improve over the summer. What was your focus this
My golf swing.
offseason?
That's the one skill I was trying to
I saw
improve
you
this
got to
summer.
look better.
I don't know. Probably I spent a lot of time on my catch and shoot, 3-pointers. Probably seen a couple of videos, either me reposting, me working out with Chris Johnson, during my summer workouts, understanding like how can I make the most of when I don't have the ball, either moving into space. Obviously Luka and AR going to do a lot of time handling the ball. We got Marcus Smart now who going to handle the ball. Gabe, Bronny, when he gets his opportunity to handle the ball. We have a lot of guys that can handle the ball. So how can I still be effective, on the team where I don't have to handle the ball as much? I'll handle the ball as well. But I guess I did a lot of everything, but I did shoot a lot more catch and shoot threes, just wanting to be ready. So, my OG Otis Carter always told me, if you stay ready, you never got to get ready. And it's literally that simple. So that's what I try to do this summer. All right, appreciate it, guys.
Hello.
Hey, DeAndre, right in front of you. So the last time we spoke to you was I guess a couple of months ago now. Just wondered what that time has been like for you as you've talked to your new teammates, to your coach, and just how that's made you think about your role entering this season.
I'm truly excited to be here. Everything counts, and you could feel the pressure through the door. This team wants to win a championship.
DeAndre, maybe one of the best moments or stretches in your career was playing pick and roll with Chris Paul. What are you looking forward to when it comes to playing pick and roll with Luka Doncic? And how big of a part of your job with this team do you think that specific role is going to be?
I've proven myself that I dominate best with playmakers, and I'm here once again, and I'm much older now, and the game is much easier to me. And just playing alongside Luka is going to make a lot of things easier. It's the true nature of the game, and we're here just to emphasize that even more.
You mentioned the word pressure. Is there a sense of you that you need to prove that pressure is not a big deal for you? You can handle this situation coming up?
Honestly, pressure is a privilege, and I'm in the right place to be, where everything counts, and the fans wants us to win. And I'm here to just add to that legacy on bringing a title here.
Taking a win with the LA Times, speaking to that legacy, especially here at this franchise, what does it mean to you to be wearing this jersey and the pressure of this city specifically?
Like I said, pressure is a privilege, and just to be in this environment and this city that holds as a unit, that really cherishes this organization. It's hard not. It's like black and white. It's hard not to to tell what they're going for and what's the goal. And I don't make it too complicated. Just staying in the gym every day and just staying consistent, proving to the organization and my teammates, that I'm ready to do it.
DeAndre, what have you learned about JJ as a coach just over the past couple of months since signing with the team and his coaching style?
He's very straightforward. He's serious in what he says he meant, and that's about it. He didn't really say too much. It was just more like, just handling our team workouts the right way, and just us being on time and doing what we're supposed to do to get ready for training camp.
DeAndre, you've been the primary rim protector on a team that made the finals. How do you see your skill set defensively fitting in with this group and with JJ's scheme?
Well, now all pressure is on me, and I'm a little older now. Like I said, the times where I was the only big and protecting the rim, I was pretty inconsistent, and didn't really know the tricks and trade of the game, really, especially playing that high of a level. And now it's just terminology where I communicate on the court and just know where I'm at on the floor, and just controlling the game from the get-go. It's much easier now because I'm competing, and I'm wanting to compete every night. So it's way better now.
Hey, DeAndre, over here on your right. Hey. This is kind of the first time in your career that you've gotten to choose your own destiny to a good degree. I was just wondering what that experience was like for you, what that decision-making process was like for you, and if it gives you any sort of sense of invigoration, I guess, that you chose to be here, it's intentional, and you kind of get to choose your own adventure from this point forward.
Yeah, it was an opportunity that I know for sure I wasn't going to take for granted. Like everybody said, pressure, yes, is what I wanted. Waking up every day knowing that it's counting, and, knowing that I'm a part of a legacy that wants to win a championship. Being around guys and great athletes like Luka and LeBron, just, embracing that, and, just, feeling that aura, and just, being a part of it and not taking it for granted. It makes me want to work even harder, and, it's just helping me embrace it and embrace everything even more.
Hey, DeAndre, right. Just looking at the offseason, were there specific things that were important to you, whether in your game, once you decided also to come to the Lakers, how you could just fit in so seamlessly?
Yeah, just being consistent and sharpening my tools, sharpening my game, getting ready for whatever role they want me to play. If they want me to score, rebound, protect the rim, no matter what it is, I'm ready to do it.
Hey, DeAndre, what's your history with LeBron, from growing up watching him as a kid to being in the NBA against him to now getting to be his teammate?
Well, growing up watching him, I always thought of him as a leader. I always looked at him, every team he went to, how he led teams and made guys great. And, that was his goal. One of his goals, he even have it in the interview I used to watch through high school. Just him just wanting to lead and him being that leader, and obviously being competing against him throughout my career. It was always like a movie playing against Bron, and now that I'm his teammate, it's just surreal. It's just you here and talking basketball and being next to him and Luka is it's not a dream no more.
DeAndre, fair or not, the perception of you, your reputation around the league, taking a little bit of a hit over the last couple seasons. How much do you look at this year as an opportunity to sort of change that conversation?
Yeah, it's the biggest opportunity I can say of my career. Some people say it's my last leg. Some people say it's my last chance. Well, it's the opportunity that I can say I'm truly not going to take for granted. And, it's almost like a wounded animal. I feel all the tension, and I know where I'm at. I've been in the gym every day. And like I say, I'm somewhere where it counts now. And I'm happy that everybody get to see it. And I'm happy where, as a player as myself, I get to, get a chance to prove something big on a big stage.
Hey, DA, as a follow-up to that, what has been the messaging specifically around that narrative to you from LeBron and Luka heading into the season? What is it like entering into all of that, having them to lean on?
I mean, I feel like everybody here has something to prove in a big way. And, the chips is on all of our shoulders in a way. And not to say this is the Lakers, and, the expectations are pretty high. And, every night is competing to the best of our abilities and doing what we can to bring and add to this legacy.
Yeah, I wonder with you and Luka, do you guys have some shared energy when it comes to having a chip on your shoulder right now? I mean, you've got the history of the draft, history with the agency, and the last couple of years that you've had. Is that something where y'all connect in terms of trying to prove some folks wrong right now?
Yeah, only actions can show. See how much work he's put in to see where he's at, and how he's really really just embrace being a true professional, and showing and telling what he's about, changing his whole body and his mindset. And me, you guys have an angry Ayton, where I've been disrespected most of my career and just been doubted, and I'm here where all is that behind me, and I can add all that fuel into winning and playing alongside Luka.
DeAndre, what's the mental challenge for you to playing alongside Luka and LeBron?
Huh?
What's the mental challenge for you to play alongside Luka and LeBron?
I don't know. The mental challenge. I don't know. I'm just embracing every opportunity. Like I said, there's nothing I'm not ready for, because I've been in the gym consistently, just preparing and just waiting for my opportunity to come. It just so happens that I'm here on the Lakers on the biggest stage, and honestly, I'm just embracing everything, just adding to the puzzle, and just want to just contribute the best way I can.
I am ready.
Hey, Marcus.
How you doing?
Just wondering this summer, like now once it became clear you were going to be here, physically, where do you feel like you're at? How excited are you to show sort of the player that that you are, that maybe people didn't get a chance to see as much these last couple of seasons?
Definitely. I'm very excited to be here. I'm very excited to be back on the big stage. These last 2 years for me has been rough, from team to team, and then injuries, compelled me from playing a lot of the time. So really this summer was just, trying to get as healthy as I can. In the game of basketball and any sports, it's hard to get back to 100%, but you try to get as close as you can. And that's the goal for me. And, it's definitely been a tough road, but being here, the comfort that I have, the way that this organization and the teammates have embraced me is definitely going to help that.
Marcus, hey, Dan Weinke with The Athletic. DeAndre just told us that he thinks this is the biggest opportunity of his career, right? Having been bought out and, going into all of this stuff. I'm curious, for you, kind of how you view this opportunity for yourself to play again on that stage that you mentioned. Do you feel like this is a reset for whatever is next for you in your career?
Definitely. I'm right there with DA. I got bought out as well. So, this is a big year for me and my family. Like I said, those 2 years kind of went under the radar. People probably forgot a little bit, what I can do and what I bring to the table. So yeah, this year is definitely huge for me, and to be able to bring back to light what I've done my whole career.
Hi, Marcus. Brad Turner from LA Times. You've mostly been a starter your entire career. Does it matter to you what role you play here with the Lakers?
It does not. I'm here to win, and however that means, that's me. Like I've been saying around, that no matter whether I start or come off the bench, my presence will be made.
Tukni Nguyen with the LA. Oh, right here. JJ was just talking earlier this week, last week, about what you need to be in terms of like a defensive presence, a leadership presence. What do you hope to kind of reestablish in terms of those skills and those parts of your game now that you're here in LA?
Definitely. I've talked with JJ and what he expects from me on both ends, but especially that defensive end. And it's everything I've been doing my whole career. It's nothing new. And I remember the first thing he told me was, hey, if we're going to get the Celtics, Marcus Smart, that's who we want. That's who we need. And we need you to be that person and be who you are. So for me, it's just coming out and giving everything I got on this court and leaving it out there every night.
Kobe Price, SoCal News Group. You just mentioned conversations you had with JJ. Just what have been your impressions of JJ as a coach now that you've had a couple of months of being able to talk to him?
First off, it's weird, to go from playing against them, game plan to try to run him off the line and chase him all night and every night to sitting down and him telling me who now, instead of chasing me, this is who you're going to chase. But no, it's definitely been great. JJ, his IQ when it comes to this game as a player, as a coach, is great. And we're all still learning. He's not perfect, but he strives every day to be, and that's only going to help us.
Marcus, you can defend multiple positions, and over the last couple of years, you've tended to defend up a little bit more. Do you have a preference on defending up or down, or does it matter to you? And with those conversations with JJ, what has been the vision in terms of your defensive role positionally?
No, there's not one thing that I prefer. Every night is going to be different. Every night is going to cause for a new challenge. And sometimes I might have to guard the smaller guards, and sometimes I might have to guard the bigger wings. That's just what it is. And with JJ, he fully understands my versatility, and he wants me to use my versatility to help this team.
Marcus, you've played against LeBron for so many years in so many situations. What stands out when you think about LeBron as a competitor, and what does it mean now to be his teammate finally?
Wow, definitely. Being a competitor, he's at the highest of the highs when it comes to it. We know the player he is. We know how great his mind is when it comes to this game. And having an opportunity to play against him, it feels good to be on his side now and not having him game plan against us. And so I'm looking forward to that, and we're going to have some fun.
Marcus, just your thoughts on the entirety of the roster, having Luka, Austin Reeves, LeBron, all these guys, the addition of DeAndre, and just what do you make of the makeup of the team in the West?
I love it. We got a lot of guys that can do a lot of things in a lot of special ways. We got some talented guys on this roster. Even the guys we didn't mention, the depth that we have, and like I said, the hunger that this team has. Got a lot of guys, working for something, and everybody's working for one goal, but we're all working individually for our stuff, for our families, and to go out there and be the best that we can be so we can help this team.
Marcus, a follow up quickly. Well, what's the onboarding process like when you join a team that has these big time expectations? Memphis was in a similar situation. Do you dive into film? Do you watch Did you watch like a bunch of like Luca Lakers, like stuff like that? And I'm curious kind of what your sort of initial impressions were.
Definitely. As a professional in your profession, you definitely need to do your homework. So for me, having these times of playing against Luca and watching him, I definitely go back and watch those games and just try to figure out, what can I do to make his job easier, and help this team and try my best. It's new, so you do have to dive right into it. You can't be on the other side trying to tiptoe in because you will get left behind.
Marcus, Minor Castillo desde la cancha, right here. Which one is going to be your role on offense this season with the Lakers?
That have not been discussed, but I believe my role is going to be, just as it is on the defensive. Everything that I bring, my skill set to help this team, whether that's scoring, whether that's creating, and playmaking, and doing all the little things. Thank you, guys.
Picture day.
Okay. Picture for you.
Hey, Rui.
Hey.
Rui, you've been here for a little while now, and so now that you kind of know how everything works, so what are you putting together about Luka's first full season, some of the new acquisitions like DeAndre and Marcus Smart, how that impacts what they want you to do? What's kind of your state of Rui going into this season?
I mean, yeah, I just play my games. Whatever I've been doing it. Whatever the team's been asking for. Me and JJ had a conversation last week too. What he wants from me. I think it's been 3-4 years with this, with the Lakers, and I think every year we getting something. But I think this gonna be the year that we really have to lock in, and we just gotta make a run. I think for now we are healthy. We gotta keep we gotta stay healthy and all that. But I think with all that, we talk about a championship shape. This whole summer we talk about it. We've been getting on the gym. Not only the basketball, but the weight room, and then those kind of stuff. I think it's gonna help in the long run, especially in the long playoffs. So. I think we're ready for it, and just those new guys, I know it's different, there's a different vibes in here. They kind of looking around and they see the vibes, but yeah, I think they're gonna be fine, and we're gonna get it wrong, quick. I think easily, I think those guys, nice guys. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
Rui, I don't think it's a secret how comfortable you've become in Los Angeles. Have you had any extension conversations with the organization? And I guess as you head into this season, how do you view kind of your place in this organization's longer term plans?
I mean, yeah, it's just it's the business side of it. I know I can't really do anything about it. I just gotta play my game. I just gotta do whatever I need to do to help this team to win this year. Even that, it's not gonna be for me to kind of think about it, to do anything about it, because I can't do anything about it. It's out of my control. So I think I'll just do whatever I need to do to help this team to win. And there's whatever that comes after, it comes with it. So I'm not gonna just focus on that or the contract or whatever for me. Yeah. Hey, Luca, my captain.
Rui, just Brad from the LA Times.
Good.
What's it been like playing with LeBron James? And what have you learned from him that has helped your game?
Yeah, it's work ethic. He always it's all about this game, basketball, taking care of his body, just the little stuff, watching him, just off the court, on the court, during the meetings, hanging out, whatever, going to dinner, just everything about a game. He always thinking. He's a very smart guy. I respect him as a human. Really, really, really good guys. I love him. Just being around, talking.
hearing his story, you know, about back in the day, you know, when he got drafted or like, you know, those kind of stuff. But yeah, he loved this game. You know, he's still trying to figure out, you know, when everybody talk about retiring and all that, but he still want to keep going. You know, I think for him, I think he wants to win one more time. I think that's why he's here right now. So I think I have to be, you know, me as a team, you know, we have to help there. You know, I think his time gonna come soon. You know, it's not gonna be 10 more years. You know, everybody knows that. So yeah, I think just being around with them, you know, just learning about the game, you know, the work ethic, taking care of his body it's been great. Yeah.
Tuking to win with the LA Times. Luka just walked by to go into a training camp, have that extra time to kind of build that chemistry with him and the rest of this team. How helpful will that be compared to last season when you had to kind of like scramble a little bit in the mid-season after he came in?
Yeah, because you know last year we're still figuring out who's gonna be the coaches, you know. So, but yeah, this year I think we had the whole program of the building the chemistry with the team. You know, I was in the Greece with the Luka for a little bit, you know, for Jordan, you know, workshop or whatever. I was hanging out with him, and we talk about you know, how we gonna be, you know, this year. But I think you know, we both excited for it. I think everybody's healthy. Everybody's in the championship shape. Those gonna be help a lot, you know. So yeah, just building the chemistry. We be hanging out. We know we've been working out together as a team. We went this little like, you know, stuff the whole summer with the team. So yeah, I was walking out with LeBron and all that. So yeah, I think our chemistry been great, and just gotta keep building that.
Rui, you mentioned having a conversation with JJ and talking through things. You mentioned championship shape, making a run. You've talked about things as a team, but individually, what did JJ express or tell you that he's looking for from you this season?
I think he want to be more aggressive on both hands, you know, offensively, defensively, rebounding. You know, he think that sometimes I get shy, you know, off those kind of stuff. So I think for me, it's just being a mentality of being consistent, of being aggressive. You know, that's gonna be my whole season, the key for me. So, like you say, like, you know, being in shape, it's gonna be the important, and but also I think the mentality wise, you know, I gotta be locked in every game to, you know, do whatever I need to do for the team, and yeah, just be aggressive. That's gonna be my whole year goal.
Okay, really? Just the play off of that, the aggressiveness, is that sometimes tough because you have guys like Luka, LeBron? I mean, where do you feel like you could naturally be aggressive, and when do you kind of feel like, all right, I gotta play a little bit backseat because of certain players on the team?
No, for sure. I know I have to think about it. It's not my show, you know. It's their show, you know. So I'm just helping them. But I think for me, it's just but I think with this team, I need to be aggressive more. You know, that's why they ask me all the time. Especially in this long run, you know, and then LeBron's 20, you know, this is his 23rd year, so you know he's not gonna be able to do that whole time, you know. So when it happens, you know, I have to be the guy to kind of step up and cover the whole things. But I think me, as you know, this age and this career of my life, you know, I can be the guy that try to, you know, be aggressive the whole game, you know, offensively, defensively, consistently. So I think that's what they ask for. So I just gotta try to do that. Yeah.
Hey, Rui, over here. David from Clutch Points. LeBron was talking about how he put in a lot of work on his off-ball game, especially catch and shoot threes, you know, based on all the ball handlers you have. I think last year you were one of the tops on the teams in terms of points off cuts. Just kind of what work have you continued to put in your off-ball game based on, you know, the makeup of this roster?
Yeah, like you said, you know, it's of course Luka, Austin, and I think LeBron too. You know, they get a lot of attention. So for me, it's just a easy game for me. You know, is because I'm most of the time wide open. So the threes, and they're always watching them. You know, so that's why I got all those backcasts. You know, I kind of figured it out throughout the season. But those are easy points for me, and it's not a set play or anything. You know, it's just I have to kind of read it, and so defense got to be always on the paying attention. So it's we just have to help each other, and those guys to easy to kind of attack to the rim, make the playmaking and all the stuff. And so yeah, it's just I think I watch a lot of film with that, when to cut, not, or just catch and shoot and all those kind of stuff. But it's all about timing and chemistry. So I think we build in that, and then we just gotta keep building that.
Rui Minor Castillo desde la cancha. In this team, you have to be versatile in defense. You need to be big and small forwards. How do you prepare on the off season to do that?
Just watch the film, watch the games. Those kind of stuff help me. The mentally. Because I didn't have any games this year, whole summer. I didn't have a national team or anything. So, watching our games, and it kind of mentally had to prepare. When to this, like you say, I have to go 1 to 5 sometimes. So. Just be ready for, just guarding one, point guard and guarding center is different things. So I kind of switch my mind and say, like when to help on the side, who's going to be the help man, who's going to be this and that. So yeah, watching film it kind of helped me. So I got to keep doing it.
Speculation about the starting lineup, and JJ was asked about it last week. He said he hasn't really thought about it. He feels like there's 7 to 8 guys on this team that could start. Do you have a preference whether you start or come off the bench, and how do you feel that potentially affects your role? If so?
I mean, it's coach's decision. It's not my decision. But yeah, like you say, if I prefer, whatever, it's not really about, who's starting or not. Just the minutes, who can be on a court longer. So I think it's for me just whatever the team needs to me to do. I don't have that. But we've been building the chemistry. That I've been starting 5 for 2-3 years, whatever. So whatever they decide, whatever, I have to do it. But yeah, it's just a matter of the chemistry, how we can build and we can be on the court together, and how we can give an impact.
八村選手、お疲れ様です。この夏は八村選手、日本に行ってブラックサムライキャンプをやって、大勢の日本の子どもたちに影響を与えたと思うんですけれども、そのキャンプから八村選手が受けた刺激がどんなものだったのか、でそれが今シーズンに八村選手のどれだけのモチベーションになっているのかを教えていただけますか。
そうですね、今日本でキャンプやったってことで、僕が日本に本当に帰ったっていうのはもうほとんど初めてなんですね。最初のドラフトの時に1回帰ってますけど、その時もナショナルチームで帰って、あと2年3年ぐらいはコロナで帰れなくて、でその後はまたナショナルチームで帰ってなんで。今回こうやって帰ったのは本当自分の意思で帰ったのは初めてで、こう帰った中で日本人ってあるその誇り、僕のそういう僕に対する愛情とか、そういうバスケのどれだけ今まで僕が始めてきた時からどれだけ成長してきてるかっていうのを日本全体のバスケ自体が感じたので、すごい僕としても感動しましたし、すごい不思議な気持ちになりましたし、これからも僕ももっと頑張っていきたいなと思いますし、子どもたちにどんどん影響を与えられるような選手になりたいと思っているので、そこは僕も一言で言うとやっぱり日本人としての誇りをすごい感じた夏だったなと思います。
コーチもペリンカー GM も八村選手が今すごく自信にあふれてるっていうふうに言ってたんですけれども、その自信はどこから来てますか。
自信は経験ですよね。やっぱり今までこうやってやってきて、NBA ではもう7年目になりますし、レイカーズではもう3、4年なので、それやっぱり今の経験やってることがこの自信につながってると思うので、そこはもうどんどん続けていかなきゃいけないなと思います。
お疲れ様です。このオフシーズン、どういったプレー的なトレーニング、どういったところを一番伸ばそうと思って取り組んでこられたかっていうことと、今シーズンの八村選手自身の目標を教えてください。
そうですね、スリーポイントのところでキャッチ&シュートをもっと早めに打てるようにというところですかね。クイックに打てる、いろんなもっと難しい状況でも打てるというところを意識しましたね。この NBA っていうのはやっぱり一瞬のその判断っていうのが大事なリーグなので、そういうところでたまに僕はスリーポイントを打てるところで打てなかったりしているので、僕のシュートリリースの遅さのせいで、そのことを考えて、自分でももっと早くシュート打てるようにしようと思ってやりました。個人的な目標、いやもう自分としてチームに頑張れて優勝できるように自分でもしっかりと貢献しながら自分の、そういう力を今まで7年間 NBA でやってきたことをしっかり出していきたいなと思います。
Thank you.
Go. Hey, Austin. JJ said you shot a 65 this summer. Do you think you could have helped the Ryder Cup team?
Man, I thought we was going to see one of the greatest comebacks in sports history yesterday. To my neighbors, I'm sorry. You probably think I'm a psychopath. I was yelling at the TV for 6 hours straight. Heartbroken when Russell Henley left that putt short. And, yeah, Shane Lowry stepped up and made a big putt. No, I don't think I could have helped the team. I did shoot a 65. It was one of those days, made every putt, hit the ball really well, obviously. So, yeah, but big shout out to our Ryder Cup team. They could have folded on that last day, but they didn't. They kept fighting, and that's a lot of respect to that.
JJ did follow up, though, by saying that he thinks you're in incredible shape, the burst, the athleticism, all that. And his coaches said you were the gym every time that you were in here. Like, what did you use your summer for basketball-wise, and like where do you feel like that leaves you heading into this year?
I feel like I'm in a good spot. Spent a lot of time in the weight room, a lot of time on court. We played a lot of pickup. Just had a really, fun summer. It's fun to get in here and compete since, when season's over, you're kind of like it's time to relax, and then you get a month in and you miss competing. And just to get back in here and do that is a lot of fun, and can't wait for the season to start.
Austin Reeves, Brad Turner from the LA Times.
Good to see.
Likewise. You played with LeBron for a few years now. What's it like playing with him? And have you had any conversation about his future, that word retirement?
After retirement?
About retirement. Have
About
you guys had any
retirement. No.
conversation on what's it like playing with him?
It's great. That was one of the biggest reasons I wanted to be in LA was to, hopefully at some point play alongside of him. It fast tracked a little bit than what I think everybody thought. Was able to do that in year one and just grow, a real relationship with him, not just on the basketball court, but as a friend. Today was the first time I seen him since we got beat by Minnesota, because I kind of fall off the grid after season. I go back home, and he's been traveling. And every time you see him, he's got a big smile on his face. He's the biggest kid in the room, has a great time, and you got to appreciate that for somebody that's been going at it for so long, 23 years. At some point you feel like the joy might not be there, but every time you see him, it reassures that he's here for one thing and one thing only, and that's to win. But I don't know about retirement. He might play for another 10 years.
Tuking to win with the LA Times. What do you think about LeBron's golf swing progress? You said that was his big thing he worked on this offseason.
Yeah, he told me this morning he made his first birdie the other day, and said that it's one of the best feelings he's ever had in his life, which I can probably, if you've never played golf and you do one day and you have a birdie, you'll understand. It's getting better. It's still not great. I played with Bronny the other day, actually, and he's got a really good swing. And I texted Bron on hole 18 and was just like, I got all my money on Bronny. I'm putting the bank on it. So just having fun with it, but it's a work in progress.
And something JJ said this last week was saying he asked everyone to come in championship shape. He wants championship communication from you guys. Just what does that mean to you to be at that championship standard even before you guys enter this training camp, and how do you think that kind of sets the tone for this team?
I think that's, exactly what, you're kind of looking for, is setting a tone from day one that we're here for, one thing and one thing only. And to do that, you have to be committed to, whatever it takes. You could go down a long list of things that, what it takes to win a championship or win at the highest level. And you've got to be committed to do those things. So anything that the coaching staff preaches, we as players have to, respect it and go do it at the best of our ability.
Austin, when we spoke with JJ on Thursday, he was asked about, you, LeBron and Luka, the chemistry developing, working together. He mentioned that he had a meeting with Sean McVay, brought up utility plays, having you guys all involved. What can the chemistry of you guys meshing in that way, what can that do for this team? And what are your eagerness levels to get that chemistry further developed?
The eagerness levels are very high. I felt like we had, good synergy with the three of us last year towards the end of the year. And that's just basically being thrown in the fire of after the trade. It was kind of go play basketball. Go figure it out. And because we didn't have a lot of time to really, mesh that together. But I thought we did a really good job of that, and having this preseason to, do just that will be really exciting. And I think that it'll really help our team a lot.
Austin, last season in the regular season, about half your shots were threes. In the playoffs, that jumped up to about 2/3 of your shots. So with that 3-point uptick and you playing a little bit more off the ball in the playoffs, how much of an emphasis was that for you this offseason in terms of catch and shoot or just off ball play and kind of figuring out the best way to fit with Luka and LeBron?
Yeah, I mean, that's been one of my biggest things since I got in the league is what can I do to help our team be successful? Is it this or whatever that might be is what, I'm going to focus on the most. That doesn't mean that, I push everything else to the side. You obviously want to get better in all aspects, but whatever I can do to help our team be successful. I've had some really long talks with JJ about what that looks like. And we got a good idea what that is. So it'll be really fun to, go through that figuring it out mode. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about basketball is nothing's ever going to be perfect, but you can always, twist and turn things to try to get there.
Austin, right. There's at least some perception around people who look at the fit of the roster that you and Luka long term might not be a great fit, but just because there's duplication offensively and maybe some of your weaknesses defensively kind of overlap or whatever it might be. First of all, do you agree with that? But also, how do you work around those kinds of things when you do have sort of similar skill sets with the players you play with?
I mean, I think the one thing that, you could, the positive that you can take is, we have a lot of skill on the floor. You have a lot of different, rotations you can go with obviously with, Luka and Bron in particular, you can always have, one of those two and then throw me on the court at any time with many different lineups. So I feel like that's one way that you can, figure things out. And then as far as the people that say it can't work, I believe that, at one point last year when we were all playing together with the roster that we had, everybody was, really high on us and everybody thought that we had an opportunity to win a championship. So when you lose one, series, the way that we lost, didn't play the way that we wanted to. I didn't play the way that I wanted to. It's frustrating, but before that, when we was, had our 20 games together, everybody in the media and everything was saying, oh, this team can compete for a championship. So I don't know why that changes off of one series.
Austin, DeAndre told us that he thinks this is the biggest opportunity that he's ever had in his career and that he's angry. What does he do for this team's ceiling? And if you guys get the best version of him, how important can that be for your guys' championship aspirations?
Yeah, I think it's huge. Once again, it's a really talented basketball player that, I got the opportunity to play a couple pickup sessions with him here. And just the skill level, the way he, communicated on defense was very, very, I was very happy about. And it's something that, we needed last year in spurts. But yeah, just like you said, just, pick and roll presence, lob threat. And then, like I said, somebody that can, knows how to communicate on defense and be in the right spots will be really big for us.
Hey, Austin. Obviously, you just mentioned DeAndre and some of the other additions. Listening to Marcus Smart up here and Jake LaRavia, we'll get a chance to listen to. Just what did you make of the entire offseason and how the roster gets ready for this upcoming season based on the additions?
Yeah, I think it was a really good, off season. Like you said, bringing in Marcus, someone that's, super competitive that, competes on every possession, and then bringing in Jake and then DeAndre. I think honestly think Jake's going to have a really, really, really good season. You know, his size, his speed, his athleticism, you know, he can guard almost every position on the floor. I think if you go back and watch him when he was in Memphis or the little short stint he had in SAC, you know, he had, you know, really, really good performances, not just on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, being active, getting deflections and stuff like that. But I feel like it's, you know, we added some pieces that we really needed, and we have really high hopes.
Austin, this is Sport 24. Hiya, okay.
How we doing?
For you, what is it that makes Los Angeles such a special city?
I mean, there's a million different things. Obviously, the you know, the Lakers organization is one of those, and I grew up a Kobe fan, so I was, you know, automatically a Lakers fan, and just to, you know, for it to come full circle and me to be here, you know, for the fans to treat me the way that, to treat me the way that they've treated me since day one has been special. Obviously, the year-round good weather that I can go golf is a bonus. Traffic is but there's so many, you know, good things. Food's great. You know, when I first came out here, I never thought that I would really enjoy it, but ever since I've been here, it's been like a second home to me. Appreciate y'all.
I am ready. Hey, Jake.
How you doing?
We spoke to JJ and Rob last week, and JJ kind of went out of his way to say how much he believes in your game, how excited he is to fit you in, and, you know, your commitment to the offseason program. Just wondered what that relationship's been like in the early stages, and how you guys talk about the game and what your role could be for them.
Yeah, it's been really good since I got here. We've had a lot of good conversations, me and JJ, about my role. He kind of just told me to be myself out there, that he's not going to, you know, specify, you know, one or two things or three things that he wants me to do and to go out there and just do that. You know, he wants me to be a basketball player, be who I am when I'm out there. He knows, you know, how hard I play. He knows that I make winning plays, that I make the right play. You know, I can be a connector out there as well. Obviously, is bringing, you know, shooting and defense to the team. So he just wants me to go out there and be free, be a basketball player at the end of the day, and go out there and hoop.
Hey, Jake, did you get married 2 days ago? Is that what the post was?
I did get married 2 days ago. Yeah, I got the ring on my finger to prove that.
Congratulations. To be in this opportunity here to kind of take your skills and put them into a championship environment, what are you most excited to see in terms of the ways you can impact winning?
Yeah, I mean, I think I can complement Austin, Luka, LeBron very well and how they play. Just providing the spacing on the offensive side, and then defensively just being able to, you know, take some pressure off them by guarding, you know, the opposing team's better wing, you know, player. And then also just like I said about, you know, playing hard and making the winning plays and getting on the ground. And I mean, you guys all see soon enough how I play, you know, October 21st when the season starts. But like I just go out there and I try and win every night, and I try and impact winning. And obviously that's what the Lakers organization is about. So I'm excited to put on a show.
Hi, Jake Brad from the LA Times. What can you tell Laker fans about you, yourself, and your game?
Me as a person, my personality, funny sometimes. As a person, I don't know. I guess you'll come to find out as the season goes along who I am as a person and my personality. And then obviously, like I've been saying, when I'm on the court, the one thing that I can't control every night is how hard I play. And that's what I do when I go out there. You know, I can't control if I'm going to make or miss shots. If I could, I'd make everything, as I say. And I go out there and I do what I can to impact winning. I try and do all the little things that help our team win games. And, you know, I've been doing that since I ever got to the NBA. I've been doing that since I started playing basketball. And
that's what I'm going to do again this year.
Tiffany Nguyen with the LA Times. Jake, at this point in your career, what does it mean to you to be with this franchise in this city and wear this jersey, have this opportunity to kind of prove what you can do on this kind of stage?
Yeah, it means, a lot to me. I know what comes with being I know what comes with being part of the Lakers organization. My dad grew up a huge Lakers fan. We're from out here. He grew up a big Magic Johnson fan. I understand what this organization, wants every year, which is championships. It's a winning organization, and my one goal being here is to continue to provide banners. So.
Hey, Jake, Kobe Price, SoCal News Group. Is there a part of your game that you're looking to showcase or want to showcase that you weren't able to, didn't on your previous stops?
I think I've pretty much showcased like the aspects of the game of my game that for the most part I'm going to be doing the same thing here as far as shooting the 3 ball, finishing, like being that connector, as I said, playmaking a little bit. Like I think I'll elevate every year. I think I'll get better every year, obviously, as you're supposed to. But like as far as something completely different, like I didn't get more athletic. I'm not jumping out the gym any more than I was any other year. So, yeah.
Hey, Jake, what's your history with LeBron? What impact did he make on you as a young basketball player? What was it like getting to play against him for the first time? What's it like getting to be his teammate now?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up watching him, obviously. LeBron James was a household name and still is. And competing against him for the first time was a surreal moment. Obviously, growing up watching, a player of that caliber, and then being able to go up and guard him and actually compete with him and against him. And now, I'm on his team, and I get to be on the same side as him every night. And my favorite thing about that is just being able to learn from him, take knowledge from him. He's player of the game, so he's very knowledgeable when it comes to basketball, and I'm excited to learn from him.
Jake, Minor Castillo desde la cancha. How are you working on your reads and spacing on offense?
That you said spacing on offense?
Yeah, and reads.
What was that?
Reading the game. How are you working reading the game and the space on offense?
Like my spacing? Yeah, like I said, like playing with guys like Luka and Austin and stuff like that, the sole focus for a defensive game plan or for an opposing team scout is going to be stop them. And that's going to leave other players like, me, Rui, other guys that are spacing the floor, Dalton, open to be able to shoot the basketball and get open looks. And then it's on us to make those shots. And it'll be easy. Like at the end of the day, when you're playing with guys of this caliber, everyone's focus is on them. So appreciate it.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, Gabe?
How we doing?
Gabe, so you gained a lot of knowledge last year, right? How to play, even in the short term with Luka and then longer with LeBron in Austin, and just wondering how that, if it impacted your offseason work, if at all. Were there certain things, all right, this is the thing that I know JJ is going to want and need. This is a part of my game. How did you put that kind of equation together in your offseason workouts?
I guess I started with the film room. Obviously, there were some things I knew coming into it, starting working out maybe a week or two after we stopped playing and got knocked out. But some of it was in the film, and a lot of it was playing off the catch, whether it's catching and shooting or catching and putting the ball on the ground and trying to score in that in-between area or at the rim. But a lot of it was predicated around that, for sure, knowing that we have those 3 guys who will primarily be handling the ball.
Gabe, 2 questions for you. What does DeAndre Ayton, the best version of DeAndre Ayton along with Jackson, do for this team? How does it raise its floor and maybe its ceiling?
Yeah, well, I think you take both of those guys, both of them are pretty much footers. DeAndre, who's had a pretty good career so far, I think he's averaging 17 and 10. You know what I mean? So him and his best version, with those two guys, three guys, including Austin in a pick and roll, I think it puts a lot of stress on the paint and a lot of stress on the rim. Hope everyone's all right back there. That didn't sound too good. But I think both of them are explosive. Both of them are at the rim. They both can anchor a defense. I think DA has a lot more experience anchoring the defense. So definitely looking forward to that. But having some size in there where I felt like we might have been lacking towards the playoff run last year will be huge for us.
Everybody's good.
I hope so.
And then defensively, you're going to share the court, I assume, at times with Marcus Smart. What do you think identity wise you guys can do in terms of defensive tone setting?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've done defensively, he and myself, I think that speaks for itself. So I think from Marcus, just be yourself. I think that'll be more than enough to go out there and just be the competitor, be the defender, be the winner that he is. And we're looking forward to having him.
What's up, Gabe?
What's up, man?
From year to year, how has your role evolved, and how will it evolve again this year with Luka and LeBron and AR?
I'd say while I've been here, I've been more and more off the ball. I think that's been more of the evolving bit, is being less on the rock, being more off the ball, playing off of catch and shoots, playing off of closeouts, and being leaned on more defensively than offensively, I think.
Hey, Gabe. Excuse me. Last year, JJ spoke quite a bit about, whether it's you, Vando, being banshees. That seems to be a common word that he used throughout last season. Has there been similar messaging? No, you guys haven't practiced yet, but has there been similar messaging coming to this season, just in talks with JJ over the past few months?
I don't know if there's been similar messaging, but I think there's kind of an understanding of maybe the expectation, for lack of a better word. But I think, Vando, myself, I think we know what we can bring to this team, and I think we know how to be impactful and how to help us win. And I think that those are those qualities that we could bring in, night out.
Okay, Minor Castillo desde la cancha. Do you know all these young kids and social media always asking about how to be better in offense? But what do you did in the summer to be better in defense?
This summer?
Yeah, this summer.
I didn't do anything specifically this summer to be better on defense, to be honest with you. Summer's passed. I've dove into the film work. I've tried to work on timing of when to attack the ball. When it touches the ground, it's coming up. I've watched players' former highlights from high school, college, etc., to kind of get an idea of what they go to when they're in a stress situation. There's different ways to break down the defensive side, but I think for myself personally, defense wasn't necessarily a highlight for me this summer. But you could always grow. And a lot of it is just effort, energy, being in shape, being willing to compete, and understanding that, if I could annoy you or be a nuisance to you and keep you 4 points from your average, I won that day.
Gabe, is there any particular goals that you set for yourself this season?
Individually, honestly, not many. I think games played is a goal for me. I think last year I came in at 72. So I'd love to play more games than 72 this year, be available for more. But I'm all about winning. I think my goal right now is very team-oriented. I just want to do whatever I can to help this team win games. Obviously, I'd love to showcase myself and put on a good performance, but I'm more interested in helping us win games. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, I got hold it.
All right.
I hold it.
Hey, what's up, Jared?
What's up? What's up?
Oh, it talked about how this was going to be the first off season there a little bit where you actually were healthy and had the chance to work and to just get in the gym and all that. How did that go for you? Where did you focus, and does that make you feel like considerably different before the start of training camp?
No, it felt good. I mean, it feels great. Being able to have a full summer under my belt. I was able to really work on my game, work on my body, and just having that confidence going into the year instead of playing catch up, being able to be on, be a part of training camp early, and just it's a different level of approach and preparation when you already put the work in and being able to start fresh.
Jared, this team has changed over a bunch since you first got here. What was it like prepping for you, knowing that you're playing alongside Luka Doncic? What are the skills, I guess, that you felt like you had to like really hone to sort of be able to maximize yourself alongside a player like that?
A lot of it was honestly just just basic skills, just being reps. Being able to be in the right positions. Where that comes with shooting, finishing, ball handling, and playing around him and all the other guys we got as well. I think the main focus for me was just actually to get the reps in. Last few summers, I wasn't even able to, do a lot of extra work. It was mainly just kind of getting by and just, just trying to get by game to game, honestly. So I wasn't able to do a lot of extra work, a lot of extra reps. And I think that's, super important throughout the year.
Jared,
So, baby.
how you doing, man?
Oh, good.
You've seen the West stay tough, got even better. What's it going to take for this team to be competitive and be one of the top 4 teams in the West, if not even better than that?
Yeah. It's going to take us to buy in. And I think we all know that. We got a lot of veteran guys that's, been around. And at this point in their career, they know that's what it's about, buying in and winning, essentially. So we know that's, the most important thing for us. We all on the same page with just winning, buying in, everybody doing their part, doing their role. And, obviously everybody, whether that's on the court or in the weight room, I think health is a big thing for us, staying healthy. So everybody's just being professional when it comes to on the court and in the weight room and the training room and, doing what everybody needs to do to have a healthy, successful season.
Hey, Vando, to your left.
What's up, brother?
What's up? Yeah, you guys played a lot of small ball down the stretch of the season after acquiring Luka. What can the addition of DeAndre Ayton and also Jackson returning Max Kleber, what can that do for the team as a whole? Then for you individually, what can having a more fortified center lineup or center rotation do for you individually, be on the perimeter more compared to last season?
It can do a lot. As a team, it brings us a different level of versatility that we could throw different lineups, different looks. Obviously, I feel like last year we kind of had to go small ball, but having the option to go small, go big, go fast, or go defensive orientated, offensive orientated, like I feel like we got so many versatile lineups now that we could throw out there, and it's always having a big body. I think even for me personally, not always being the biggest guy on the floor, having other guys that could cover me, or we could switch, or me being able to be on the perimeter a little bit more, helps me out personally and as a team. So I think just being able to be versatile and throw out different looks.
Hey, Jared, right over here. Obviously known as a team player, just curious, your own individual goals is whatever, maybe something you worked on over the summer, or as you get ready to go to this upcoming season, what are things you want to accomplish personally?
Personally, my main goal is just to be healthy. I know it's been a couple seasons that being fiddled with injuries. So for me personally, my number one goal is just be healthy, finish the season healthy, do a full complete season. That's first and foremost, and then obviously, just being able to take advantage of this training camp, this preseason, and being able to apply everything that I've worked on into the real game. But yeah, my main goal is health, honestly.
Hey, Jared, over here. David from Clutch Points. I remember last season you talked about the work you put in on your shooting, especially the corner three. Just kind of how has that part of your game continued to grow, especially with all the ball handlers and playmakers you have on this roster?
Yeah, it's definitely grown over the years. I mean, just being able to, like I said, this summer I was able to put in a lot of reps. Because I wasn't rehabbing, I was able to just work out normally. So, yeah, obviously, we have a lot of great playmakers on this team. So a lot of corner shots or a lot of three-point shots will be available. So for me, it was very important just to make sure I'm, being ready to take and make those shots. So, yeah, honestly, just being able to have a full summer where I can actually put in reps. I think that was a big thing for me.
I hear that. Good to go?
Hey, Jackson. You sometimes start at center. You've been deployed on the wing, move your feet defensively, catch lobs. Like, do you have a good idea this season as to kind of the best way to utilize your talent and how that'll fit in with the group?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, me, JJ, and Rob, and some of the guys had some talks, and just really playing a lot of pick and roll this year, using that to our ability because, I mean, that was working for us real well at the end of last year. And just, I mean, coming in with the second group and helping out a lot with them and just doing whatever they need me to do, just kind of being that Swiss Army knife and just working on a lot of defensive stuff, gained some weight this summer so they can use me in different ways. So just excited for that.
Jackson, after the way last season ended, I think some people were surprised that you'd be sitting here today. Why did you want to be back? Why was it important for you to come back? And what do you kind of make of where this team is now versus the version you left?
I mean, yeah, I mean, people still forget about what all led up to before the playoffs. We had a great run before that. And I mean, yeah, I had a good meeting with JJ and Rob after the season and right after the game 5. And I mean, yeah, they just told me they wanted me back. And so we talked about some things. And so, I mean, I'm just excited to be back and get to work.
Jackson, how much did playing with Luka elevate your game, and how much do you expect that to be the same this season?
Oh, a ton. I mean, that's one of the best playmakers of all time, if not one of the best passers of all time. So, I mean, just playing with him, playing with Bron, those two bring so much force and so much attention. Everyone else is worried about them that it just gives me the opportunity to have a ton of lobs and drop-offs. So,
Jackson, obviously you return, the team added DA. What can just a more fortified big man lineup or big man rotation do for the team as a whole?
I feel like it'll help a ton. I mean, last year it was like really me and Vando as our 2-5. So, I mean, definitely just having two real bigs is going to be awesome. Yeah. All good? We're done? Huh? Ah.
Hey, Jackson, you mentioned you put on some weight this offseason. Can you just talk about why that was important to you and how much you think that'll help?
It was really important to me just because I've always been a little lighter. And so wanted to gain good, healthy weight. Me and our strength coach, Randy, and my chef and our nutritionist, Miss Becky, all just worked together this summer and getting me eating the right stuff and like eating a certain amount of calories and just doing lifts that will help me kind of gain the right weight and just make sure my body still feels good while gaining this weight. Yeah.
Jackson, when you kind of look back at, you mentioned that stretch before the playoffs, you're starting center on a team that won a lot of games. And it's probably the best opportunity that you had to kind of show what you could do in that role. What did you see when you look back at it? What are the things that you think you can take specifically from that stretch to kind of move forwards here?
Really just the continuity of the offense was, flowing, just being in the right spots. Like that was something I was really learning, just like where to be with certain guys and where they want you to be. Like they're expecting you to be right here on this side. If you're driving to the right side, like stuff like that, just little things I feel like was a big thing for us. And we were running a lot too. So, I feel like that's when I'm at my best. And so, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Maxi, obviously when you were traded with the Lakers, you came in with the injury and were able to get back just in time for a couple minutes in that last game. How has that progressed this offseason physically, and kind of where do you feel like you're at as you head into this season?
I feel fully recovered, fully healthy. I emphasize obviously finishing the rehab and doing everything to feel good about that. And then from that point on, build on physical strength, conditioning and all that. So I'm ready to go.
Maxi, along those lines, what's sort of the plan for you? Oh, sorry, right here.
My
Uh, what's sort of the plan for the preseason in terms, you haven't played a lot of live basketball. Are you hoping to use that as a knock the rust off time? What's kind of your hope for that?
Yeah, for sure. Not just the preseason, even the time before now, it was important to just, be back on the court. Um, having basketball workouts, basketball rhythm, and especially when it comes to like those preseason games, getting back into like playing within the system and not just like a little bit of pickup basketball or simulated situations. So just finding that rhythm with teammates and with our game plan on the court will be very helpful to obviously come back.
We spoke to DeAndre Ayton earlier, and he said this is the best opportunity of his career, or the biggest opportunity, I'm sorry, of his career. What can playing with Luka do for him, and how important do you think he is for this team?
Playing with Luka, I think everybody who watches basketball knows that besides his own shots that he gets, will create very easy shots for everybody else. He draws so much attention. So I think there will be a lot more lob threats or like lob finishes for him that he didn't have before. Besides his post-up game, the mid-range jumpers that he has, that will make his life a lot easier. And obviously, he's a physical presence on the court. We played a little bit 5-on-5 pickup, and I feel like he's gotten stronger. He's in great health, and that would just help on the defensive side too. Being a rim protector.
Actually, Brad from the LA Times. I think people have kind of forgotten about you because you haven't played much lately. But can you remind people about your game, how you can help this team?
I try to do the simple things, like kind of like the dirty work, like some other players, set good screens, make the right plays. It's not always showing up in box scores or whatever, but the main thing is to just understand my own role, what we want in our system, and then make the right decisions based on that. Space the floor for Luka to get into the paint, or AR, LeBron, all that. Besides that, obviously, like bringing physicality onto the court.
Hey, Maxi. What have been your impressions of JJ as a coach since joining the team in February? And what, if you've had these conversations, what has he told you about your role for this team this season?
I played a little bit with him in Dallas. So he was my teammate for a short time, and I already knew back then. And seeing like all his podcasts that he did, he has a very high basketball IQ and basketball knowledge. And what I appreciate about him as a coach is he gives you very clear rules on what he wants to do. We have a freedom, obviously, in how to play the game, but there's just basics that everybody has to be on the same page. And he's very structured when it comes to that. So I really appreciate that side of him. Also, as a person, he doesn't hold back. He tells you how it is. And I think that's what we need as a feedback to improve as a player and as a team. And we did talk about, the number one thing for me, obviously, is staying healthy. You can't be helpful for anybody if you're not healthy. So that's the number one thing for me. And then just like I said earlier, getting back into basketball rhythm.
Maxi, you've seen Luka work with Kyrie and work with Jalen Brunson. And last year it worked to a large degree in the regular season. Then you guys obviously had the early exit in the playoffs. But what do you think it's going to take to get to the next level with Luka and LeBron and Austin kind of figuring out the best way to play together?
I think, like you said, figuring out the best way. It takes time. A lot of times, what you see in team sports, you have good names on paper, but you got to figure out how to work that together on the court, also for the dynamic of the team and the whole spirit of everybody. So this is the time that we have now. Last year was rush. It's also in the middle of the season where a lot of change happens. Also, it was like one of the biggest, if not the biggest trade. So there's a lot of noise around it. But, now we have a fresh start. We have a fresh team. And we have the time now to, get to know each other, get into each other on the court during preseason and figure all that out. Because obviously, like with that talent, you have a lot of chances to win it all. Thank you, guys.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Good. How y'all doing? Sounds good.
What's up, Adu? How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
All right. Obviously, you look at the roster and you see LeBron, you see Luca, and you see Austin, and it's sort of a lot of ball handling and creation about at the highest level that you can get. Do you feel like with what your skill set is, and that's something that just is a natural fit with the size, the length, the athleticism, and have you thought about that and how you might contribute this year?
I looked at our roster and I looked at everybody on the team. We have a lot of great players and everything, but I still feel like, it's little things that could be done to, help a team win and everything. And if those little things are what I need to do, then I'll definitely do it.
Anyway, Dan Wenke with The Athletic. Are you cleared for full 5-on-5 at this point? Do you expect to be participating here early in training camp?
I haven't been fully cleared yet, but I've been working out and training and getting back to playing. Just dealing with a little bit of swelling right now, but going about it day to day.
How do you kind of balance I'm sure you're anxious
for sure
to get out here and to run around and play with these guys, but also knowing that you're a rookie and there's some long view in this. I guess, how patient are you letting yourself be, and what's this process been like since you got here this summer?
I got to look at it as, I got a long career ahead of me. So can't look at this one little injury as can't just let it linger around. So trying to attack it and make sure I'm back 100% healthy so I can play how I want to play for the rest of my years.
Hi, I do Brad from the LA Times. Can you envision yourself playing with the Lakers and also playing with the G League team to get some experience?
Yes, of course. I'm just happy to be here, happy to be in this position. So whatever they ask of me, I'll be ready to compete, whoever it's against.
Hey, I do. Kobe Price, SoCal News Group. I know it's just been a few months since being drafted, but what have been your initial impressions of JJ as a coach in the conversations you've been able to?
Can you repeat that?
My bad. What have been the impressions you've had of JJ as a coach in the conversations you've had with him since being drafted?
The main focus this year is, well, every year, but championship. So being in championship shape, and that's what he's been stressing the most. Just everybody being in shape, championship communication, just wanting to win a championship and doing everything that needs to be done to do that. So I understand it all, and I stand by it. I'll do whatever I need to do on my end to gain his trust.
Hey, dude. Over here.
Oh, what's
Sorry
up,
about
my
that. Hey, just curious, anybody, specific players you kind of model your game after growing up, but now getting a chance to be in the league, certain players you're looking forward to playing, just that piece of the pie, not just the team, but looking at it from an NBA perspective?
I wouldn't say I really modeled my game after anybody. Growing up, I watched a lot of different players, their highlights, how they play. I like to, have my own game, I'd say. But just being able to pick and choose from, different players' games, what I could add to mine and, make my bag a little bit deeper.
Hey, dude. Considering how many, veterans and all-stars are on this roster, how much do you plan to take advantage of that to kind of help you get adjusted to the NBA as quickly as possible?
Plan on taking advantage of it as much as I can, just coming in, being a sponge, learning whatever I can, whether just off the court things or even on the court things, just whatever I can pick up, they've been at this longer than I have, they know how everything goes. So I'm just going to listen to know.
Hey, Adu. Over here, David from Clutch Points. You've always been a versatile defender, somebody that's been able to guard multiple positions. Just kind of how do you see yourself fitting in on that end with this group?
I still see myself as somebody who could do that. Just being able to go in and give the team another push on the defensive side if needed. But just being a physical defender and doing what I can on that defensive side, showing my motor.
Thank you.
Hey, Bronny, we saw the clear growth in summer league, right, from what had been you've been developing for the year prior. What have you done since then, and what did you sort of learn about your game that you thought you could carry forward into training camp this year?
Just like every other NBA player in the summer, I'm just keep my head down, working on the same stuff that has gotten allowed me to grow during the summer, and coming in every day ready to learn, and ready to take advantage of an opportunity if it's given to me. So just keep my head down and working.
Bronny, what's the energy been like in the gym this summer around these guys? Anybody stand out? Anything pop to you that maybe seems different, or growth from the foundation that was kind of laid in the organization in JJ's first year?
Everything has been great. Energy in the summer. We come out here every day, ready to work and ready to get better as a team. I've been playing, against each other since summer league has ended. So, JJ is engraved in our heads that we need to be in championship shape. Have championship effort, stuff like that. So, we all know what it needs to take to get to that level and bring up a championship. So we've all been locked in this summer.
Bronny, you showed some flashes of growth in the summer league, and how have you built on that since, in terms of not only maybe your win, as you mentioned, being in championship shape, but just your confidence leading into year two?
I think it's just working on all the same stuff that I was working on before. It's obviously helped during the G League too. Just working on stuff, whether that's putting the right stuff in my body or coming in and working on specific skills that I need to grow or stuff like that. So it's been all the same stuff, trying to create a good routine.
Was there one skill set that you wanted to improve upon and make sure that you sharpen that to be really good?
No, I wouldn't say that, because you need an all-around game. You can't just be good at one thing to be on an NBA floor. So I'm working on my body, working on my strength in the weight room, stuff like that. Working on my quickness, but also coming out on the court and working on my my game on the offense end. So it's been an all-around work.
Bronny, since summer league, have there been conversations with JJ about your role and whether it'll be different than it was last season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's still the guys that are playing ahead of me right now, so I'm just ready to take advantage of any opportunity that he gives me, and you know, whether that role is stay at the same place. I'm just ready to go out there and play and provide and produce for my team.
Bronny, Minor Castillo desde la cancha. After your first NBA season, what gave you confidence to face your second year?
I just think seeing the growth, during the whole year, summer league, and then going in the big team and playing, a couple of good games. So just seeing that growth and watching, film of myself becoming more confident, it just, fuels me to be even more confident this year.
Bronny, you've grown a lot, as you acknowledged, over the course of last season, turning into your own player. There's also still a lot of, understandably, attention, you and your father. How much does it mean to you just to grow into your own identity and to sort of just be judged on your own merits, however you're judged?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great for me and my mind to, just push through those, the criticism and everything that's, thrown my way, and just to see the growth and skills develop as a player, while being scrutinized and stuff like that. I think it's just good for my head, and it's just allowed me to keep going and pushing through.
Sorry. Bronny, JJ got a contract extension. Rob announced that to us last week. I'm just curious, kind of working with him last year, what about his communication stood out most to you?
Say for me, just believing in me is the most part. I think he thought that he definitely thought that it was a good idea to send me to the G League and, have me get those extra reps, and it, turned out great for me. And we sat down and agreed on that. And, it turned out to be the best. So I have full trust in him and what he wants to do with me and what role he wants to, put me in, stuff like that. So, I'm willing to take any, criticism or help that he throws at me, and I'm, ready to take advantage of opportunity if it's given.
Hey, Dalton, we got a chance to talk to JJ last week, and he said that he thought that you might have actually gotten burnt out early in the offseason, 5 a.m. workouts, 3 a day, just kind of going constantly. But he felt like he saw some of the payoff just these last couple of weeks of the conditioning set that you're in. Can you just take us through season ends, your mindset, the work carried through Summer League, and kind of how JJ described it?
Yeah, right when the season ended, I got with my trainer and told him, like, we got to be on the court next year during the playoffs. And, I just overworked myself, got burnt out. By the time Summer League started, I was just completely drained. So, I think it was a great learning piece for me. And that's something that me and JJ talked about during the offseason, that this is a good piece. Like, my struggles is a good thing. And you get to really learn from them.
Dalton, championship shape has been like the phrase that's been thrown out a lot around us. I'm sure you've heard it plenty behind closed doors. What did that mean for you? Was it about strength? Was it about stamina? What were you trying to do to your body to kind of get you more prepared for an NBA season?
I think it's a mix of both. You got to be strong throughout the whole entire year, maintaining your strength and being still in shape on the court, not gaining too much weight, but being able to maintain and play at a high level the whole entire time. That's something JJ said that we struggled on, especially during the playoffs. So, I think every single one of us came back this summer and really focused on that, and all of us are in great shape for training camp.
Dalton, what do you take from last year in terms of the success that you had and apply it to this year and try to make it, extend beyond the early portion of the season?
Yeah, just staying confident and just listening to my coaches and all the vets that I got on the team still. They talk to me constantly, even during the beginning and towards the end of the year. They were always in my ear, just checking in on me. So, just going out there and doing what I do is the best thing, and that's going to be the best thing to help this team out for sure.
Dalton, you proved to be a very good outside shooter. What else do you want to show that you can do this season? Besides shooting, what else do you want to show that you can do?
Show that I'm more than just a shooter. Being able to get to the hoop and go up and finish around contact and around the rim, and then also finding my teammates. Running. I'm a shooter, so people are going to try to run me off the line, but also look for, like DA, Jax, and all them guys slip into the paint. So that, and then rebounding as well, and then improving my defense.
Dalton, what has JJ told you about what he'll be looking from you? So, in kind of what going back to what you were saying, so you can be on the floor come playoff time if the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, the biggest thing is he just said to stay confident. That's one of my biggest strengths. JJ said is I'm one of the most confident players on the court at all times, and just keep maintaining that, and just stick with it. No matter what, just keep sticking with it, and then that's about it.
Hi, Dalton. Maynor Castillo desde la cancha. You just say that your confidence is really good. What is the source of that confidence for you?
I would say all the time I spend in the gym since first played basketball. That's kind of where I get my confidence from. That's something my dad always told me, and it just carried me through all the way to where I'm at right now. Is being the most confident player. All the shots I take in a game, all the reps I do, is something that I done way before the game even started.
Which one is going to be your sneaker rotation for this season? I see you now with Jordans, the 10s. So what is the plan?
You'll have to see. Being a Jordan athlete, you get to rock a lot of crazy Jordans. So we'll see what I got in rotation.
Dalton, Lucas talked a lot about how it took him a little while to wrap his mind around the trade and being here in a new situation. You went through something pretty unusual yourself with the rescinded trade. Have you, I guess, regained a comfort level with the organization and your place here and just general setting?
Yeah, there's no hard feelings. I think that's something that we talked about when I first got back. There's no hard feelings. And, it's in the past. Like, who cares? Like, I'm ready to just go hoop, play for the Lakers, play in front of a great crowd in crypto. And then, yeah, happy to be here. Appreciate it.
What's up, USCJ? It's your boy Jakeem. Really appreciate what you're doing for